Today we are going to discuss about the Xstore Office functionality. We call it a Xoffice application. So what is the Xoffice application? So mainly if you will see Xoffice application is a web, we call it a Oracle Retail Xstore Office. This is a web-based application used to administrator corporate-based function. So Xoffice application is residing in the corporate level, and usually we need this application to manage the corporate level things. So the very first thing we can use this Xoffice application to manage a X of POS configuration, setup and maintenance. Means using this Xoffice application, you can configure how your X store should work. What are the functionality you can configure? We can see with the example also. File management for the Oracle Retail Access Store Suite. So any file you want to create, any data movement, how it will happen, where it is that file will be residing, what is the file server address, when it will be getting deployed, what is the time, so it got deployed on the Xstore application or not. All these things can be configured and managed through the Xoffice application only. Viewing the electronic journal, all the electronic journal for the all the reports part we can see in the Xoffice application only. So viewing the reports, different reports is available for the corporate level, at a store specific, for the employee specific, a different kind of report will be available that we can see in the Xoffice application. Monitor X-Post version usually at the store register level and monitoring alerts. So you can use this application to see what are the X-Store version has been deployed in your configuration, in your architecture. Is there any problem? Then you can see your monitoring tools also. To view an alert with showing log events for application, connectivity, and hardware. So all the, is there any issue with their application? That issue will be get logged. You can see this problem is or not. Any connection, database connection issue or Xoffice is not able to communicate with the Xstore application, then also that you can see any database connection issue also, you will be able to see any hardware failure also, you will be able to see. So just let me show you. So this is a look and feel of the, this is the look and feel of the Xoffice application. So as I told you, so this is a web application. So you can see we are running on the web browser only. So that's the reason I told. So suppose, so this is there. So I have a credential where you can use. So once it's happening, the administrator will share one username and password. You can log in and so suppose trainer as a username that has been passed for me. So suppose I am logging in. So you can see the very first look and feel of this application is like this only. So the very first we discussed what is the major functionality you can see. So you can see the very first option is a journal here, reports, config manager, data management, deployment, support tools, and system management. So same you can see how you can deploy configuration manager, data management, deployment manager, support tools, reports, and system. Apart from these functionality, there is no any other functionality available in the Xoffice application. Remember, so you can configure the data using the configurator manager. You can use the file movement and all these things using the deployment manager. You can see all the report, what kind of reports is available using the reports part. you can use the data manager to create a new set of data for access to application. Any any support tools you can see. Suppose you want to see the alert console. So any issue is there, so you can see replication has any issue, you will be able to see over here. If connectivity has any issue, you will be able to see over here. That kind of thing we will be able to see. So we will be discussing one by one each and every section of the application. So look, that's how you look and feel look like. So we have seen that look and feels. That's how you will be able to see the look and feels of that one. So if you will see the what are the menu bar over here. So look, if you will ask me, then these are the menu bar over here. These are the menu bar that are different option available in the Xoffice application. And then if you will see the what is the home application, each and everything, login user. So here you can see, if you will ask me, so look, so login user is there. So that's user you can see here. As we discussed, following are the elements of Oracle Retail Access to Office application. So roles, users, and security office, system setting, profile management, and configurator. Roles, user, and security access. What is this one? Creating user security roles and managing user access to the Xoffice. Remember these things. This role, user, and security access, when we are discussing, this is related to this Xoffice application itself, not the Access Store application. So whenever who can access this user, who who can access this Xoffice application, that's we are covering inside the roles, user, and security access. You will be creating different user roles to access this Xoffice application. This functionality is nothing related to the Access Store application. Remember this one. System setting. Settings of the system configuration rules are part for the Xoffice itself. What it means here is system setting means suppose you have configured some file server from where it should read that file. That kind of system settings you will be able to figure out in the system setting. How this system should work, that you will be able to see inside the system settings only. Profile management. So profile management is nothing, creating and managing profile group elements for the store, creating and maintaining the personality, determine the prioritize profile elements for the configuration override. So suppose if you want to do some changes or the access store label, so you want to do for the specific functionality changes, some profile should be there. That kind of things you will be managing inside the profile management. Configurator. Inside this functionality, creating and maintaining, deploying Xoffice computer globally across the entire organization. Using the configurator, how you want to configure your Xoffice store application, different store. From here only you will be able to manage differently. And globally, if you want, that functionality should be available. For example, suppose for the return region code you want, these are the region codes that could be used in the Access Store application. Then using the configurator application directly you can configure, and that will be deployed to all of your store only. Data management, how the data will be following to your Access Store system, that you will be using controlling through the data management. Creating, maintaining, and deploying exposure that's globally across the entire organization. Suppose you have a few data files that you want to send to the particular store. Using this data management, you can control all these things. Deployment manager. Deployment manager is just to upload files to the deployment and track the status of all configuration data and file deployments. So any configuration, any file uploads, any configurator has reached to the store or not, all these things we will be managing to the deployment manager only. Electronic journal allows accessing electronic journal to view transactional data from Access Center database in a receipt format. So you will be aware of using the electronic journal. We can see the transaction data. So when we are accessing the electronic journal in the Xoffice, means we are seeing the data that is available in the X Center database reports, different of reports using the data available in the X Center database. You can see. Again, remember one thing: Xoffice is nothing. Xadmin plus Xcenter database. Xadmin is a UI part of the application, and Xcenter is a backend database for all the data your store is having. So Xcenter is a centralized database system. All the data from all the store that will be available in the Xcenter database only. Another is a support tools. So any using this functionality, uh, any issue taking place at a store level, you can see, we can set up the email alert. So suppose any problem has come and you want to configure that email should be sent, then you can just configure that inside the support tools only. So to compile all the post log data, this is a important aspect of the support. So suppose you want to share the post log data with a third-party system, then using the support tools only, there is a broadcaster mechanism available. There you will be able to see the post log data and how you want to send that one. So these are the main functionality available in the Xoffice application. So these are the major functionality available in the Xoffice application. So now we will be moving towards one by one how the each and every functionality works with the real-time access to the application. So the first things I am seeing is data management. So what is the data management? So remember the data management in the new version application, Xoffice application, if you will see, so look, so nothing, you will be seeing this application like data management. So this is the data management application. So you can click here also, and then which are the functionality you can see. So you can see above. So this is the data management application. So if you will see inside the data management, so what are the different set of data you can configure? So look, the data management we can use to create, maintain, deploy Xoffice data selectively or globally across entire organization. So following data can be configured in the data management. So remember one thing. So what are the data we are mentioning here? That only configure using the data management. Apart from these data, you won't be able to create any data from the data manager. So let's go. So what are the data we can manage from the data management? So it is a merchandise and non-merchandising items. Means all the items related data, if you want to create using the UI application, then you will be using the data management only. So all the item level information you will be setting up using the data manager only. What are the other data we can use? The employee records. You can create a new employee records and send all your store and particular store using this data manager only. Exchange rate. So for the currency conversion, if you want to set up the exchange rate, then we will be using the data manager only. Store information. So any new store you want to, what is the store name, what is the different configuration for the store, what is the tax location for that store, all these things if you want to do, then you will be using this data manager store information only. Tax data, what are the tax location, tax hierarchy, all these things if you want to configure, then you will be using the data manager tax only. Store message, any message you want to send to the store, then you will be using the data manager only. Any employee task you want to configure, then you will be using the data manager only to send that data. All the vendor information you want to create, then you will be using the data manager only. Another aspect of the data manager is organization hierarchy. If you want to create a new organization hierarchy, then you need to manage using the data management only. So if you want to create a new node in your existing hierarchy, then you will be using this data management only. Roll-up stock valuation to post the required data for stock valuation for all item and store. So all the stock valuation, if you want, then you will be using the roll-up stock valuation only. Most of the retailers, they want to use this functionality, but you will be seeing the most frequent use of as a all the item, merchandise, non-merchandise items. Suppose you want to configure the shipping fee, there you will come, that will come inside the non-merchandise item. Then you need to come inside the data manager and then you will be able to fix that one. So let's just see how we can do. So suppose inside the data manager, so data manager we talk, right? So look, inside the data manager, if you will be seeing, so suppose any of the store, for the test store, I have a store 101. So look, what are the data I told you? So items you can configure, right? So suppose what are the items you want to create here? So that you will be, suppose we want to create a merchandising item. So suppose I am just searching if this item is available or not. So you can see this item is not available. So suppose I am creating one item. So I have created 101 description. This is a test data. Initial listing price 100. I have put this as a $20. So this is a style. What is the style ID? Suppose this is different architecture. The department, suppose. So I have selected one department 300. Inside this one 10. Inside this one 301. So for this item, the UPC I have created 321, 123, 321, 123. So item IPC, so suppose next availability. Suppose the tax group is there, so no tax for the I have configured the node. So availability available. Different account you are so any message you want to send, then accordingly it will be creating the data. That legal warranty, so nothing. Suppose the option, this item sold by the quantity one, you know, all this functionality is available. You can just use this one. Does this item? No. So this is a different function. I don't want this should be used in the. So this is not a returnable item. So I am this how it returns. Unit cost I have put as a $12. So suppose this is item associated with the vendor. So vendor information if you want, then suppose, so look, this is the onion save. So now if you will see, you will be able to see this item. So suppose you have created this one. So remember this one, as soon as you are creating this one, this is only created. So far, I didn't get deploy that one. For deploy, we will be setting different things. So for the deployment manager will come. So you can see, so using the items, we were able to create that one. So suppose you want to create a new employee. Then suppose, so I am just searching what are the employee and 100 is there or not. So you can see 100 is there. So what I can do is, suppose I am creating a new employee. So my employee ID is 100. So forget about, so 20021. First name is So suppose this is a micro, last name is learning, L-E-R-N-G, learning. So language, suppose language is a English, gender is a female, male. Activation date, suppose today is the activation date for us. So next, job title, suppose nothing I want, pay status, is this employee required to clock in, birth date. So these are not the mandatory columns, so you can, so these are also not mandatory columns. US. So look, security group is here. So I am asking, is this a training only? Training, I have given this one. Customer group, this will be the employee. So next, store, suppose 101 I want, it should be able to log in to the 101 only. So suppose this is a temporary, then you can assign this one. Next, and save. So now you have saved. So if you will see 2001. So again, I am telling this is not for the user, this is for the access store employees who will be using this employee, not the Xoffice application user. We will be discussing how we can use the this one. So now you can see, so we can create in the same way we can create the vendor also using this click button only. In the same way, you can click the legal entity for your organization. Legal entity, what could be the legal entity? So you will be able to see that one. That's the thing I was discussing. All these data you will be able to suppose the new taxes. So tax rate if you want to manage, suppose tax location is there. So 1001. So tax location we need to search first and then we need to able to tax. So tax location. Look, these are the location you can see that's available. So TL100. So suppose TL100 is there. So TL100 is there. And then for this one, group 01. So suppose for this PAT, so minimum amount is there. And that's how you usually do. So suppose this is a nothing tax rate. So suppose so this is a 6% tax rate. So what I want, this should be so that's how you will be confused using all the data. So again, remember these things. So using the data manager, to suppose message we talk about, right? The store message and employee task. So in the communication option, you will be able to use that one. That is a store message, employee task. Usually that's we do the using of the communication. So store message means for this will be showing each and every employee for that store only so that you can do. So suppose you are creating priority, this message register specific, then you need to provide okay, only the lead register number one. Any message you want to display. So suppose this is a high priority. So when it should come. So 25 to 26 the target is $100. So this message will be displaying there only now. Just any new task, so suppose you want to see new task, so store 101, 2 also, 103. So 101 is there. So what is the task? To, to perform the stop count activity. So priority it will be I type count. When it will start from the 50s and it will be going to 29 visibility store. So complete store assigning. So it will be 12, 0, 0, yeah. That's how usually you create that one. So remember, these are the things you can configure. So suppose I told using the store employee. So suppose 101 is there. So corner market is there. The name is a corner market. I want to, this one is a text. Tax location, I don't want to change anything. So this is already available, that one, that I don't want to change. Currency, legal entity, any name, what to say, suppose PL was there. So, so any amount for each and every register you want to give, you can do this one only. Yeah. So suppose default amount I don't want, so that's the reason it asking. How many register in the storage? 7. So I want to two only register is there. Table is here. That's how usually you do here. I don't know why it's not the number of registers 7, so number of till should be 7 only. It's why it's not taking, but it should be same one. That's how you usually do. So now suppose you have done all these things and now, so if you will see the pending modification. So suppose for the 101 we were doing, right? So look, 6 changes is there. You have already we have done. Look, item, employee task, message, all these things we have pending there. So what it's doing completely you can see here. So now pending modification, or you can ask here what is the what you need to suppose data publisher. So suppose 101 is there and then so look what are the data you want to do the publish as of now. So suppose I have selected next. So how it will go as a immediate download, the data will go as a immediate or all these things. So suppose I want immediate, and then you will be clicking. So immediate means as soon as you will be doing within a 30 minutes, it will be available to all of the store. What are the data we have done here? So you suppose I want end of the day means at the time of closing the store only. Once the store is closed, then only it will be reaching to the all of the store. So once you select and then deploy, so it will be deploying all the data. So there is some issue. There's another issue in real time. You want to be means usually you want to be facing. So suppose that's how usually we deploy the data. So suppose you have done here, and then so I feel now you will be able to understand. So now we will be seeing the store. What is the pending? So it's there or not, right? So suppose you want to deploy the blue on the target is to be one. Yes, suppose I want to deploying same thing we are scheduling the data management. It got, but you can use this functionality to deploying that one. In the real time, you won't be able to see any issue. Currently, there is no connection with the access code. That's the reason I think it's failed. We will be checking also. So how suppose the deployment has failed, then you can go to the deployment, view deployments. So suppose just now we have done, right? So look, multiple. So look, this is the deployment we have tried and we were not able to complete that one. So, but it's a deploy is also there already. So you can see that's how you will be able to see the deployment manager. So again, I am telling we were discussing the data manager. Inside the data management, you can create the data for the particular store also. So here I have selected a particular store. If you want to select then all that one, then we can select the complete RRP also. And then you will be able to create that one. So remember using the data management, we will be able to create these one data. Item is nothing, merchandising item and a non-merchandising item, all the tax data, exchange rate, employee information, communication, employee store messages and employee tasks, vendor details, legal entity, tax information, exchange rate, you will be able to create using the data management functionality only. I hope this have clear your functional concept regarding the data management. It's not a tough one, it's an easy one. Just remember this one, then you will be able to perform the data management task. So if you will see, that's the information we have done. So next one is a configuration manager. What is the configuration manager? So if you will see inside this configuration manager, configuration is nothing. How you want to access to system, the register level configurator, store level configuration should work. That is a configuration manager. All the system kind of setting, you will be able to see all the data is present inside the configuration manager only. So the very first thing inside the configuration manager is profile management. So suppose, what is this profile management? Suppose we have discussed this one, now the home is there. So configuration manager you can see. Inside the configuration manager, there are two options, configurator and profile management. So as I told you, using the configuration manager, you can configure how your access store system should work. So means this using this functionality, we should be able to control the functional enablement and disablement. So that's the region inside that one to perform this functionality. We do have a profile management functionality. So suppose for the few store you want, okay, this group of employee only can perform that one, then you will be creating the profile for that particular set of employee. And then you will be assigning that profile and using that profile only to moving forward in your day-to-day work, you will be performing the configuration for that particular set of store. So that's a major functionality of the profile management. So creating and maintaining the personality that determine the prioritized profile elements for configuration overrides. Creating and maintaining the store landscape used for machine configuration. So how your access store system you will be configuring using this profile management only you will be doing. So for suppose, for example, so profile management is there. So this is a real time I am dealing. So suppose, so group IDs, group type. So it's a personality, so a person is specific, then its group ID is test for testing, comment for testing also. So we have created, okay, for example, suppose the group ID I have given 101 store. The store 101 I have created. So description for store 101 configuration. It will be doing the configuration to configuration. So only, so you can see, and then profile element ID profile element. So for the store 0101, I want system configuration. So 6101 underscore SYSCC. Store 101 system changes. And then you create this one. And then save this one. So if you will ask, so this is there. So profile management, profile I have created. So profile maintenance. So suppose store configuration is there. Any changes you want to do, any configuration changes, then you will be able to see from here only. So now suppose now the config profile management we have done. Profile management we have done. So configurator is to create, manage organizations effectively, globally, profile is to define a store personality for an organization. So who will be doing that? This one all are user to independent person using the GUI format, nothing. So if you will see, so in the configurator we will be seeing. So you can see global configuration. Global configuration in it. This will go change it or deploy the global configuration, which is the foundation of all locations. So suppose configure. So any new, suppose any new, I told you, right? So for the one of the example, I tried to explain you. So suppose for the return region code, I want to change the new return region code should be employed. So suppose, so discount item, so for the return is there, right? I have selected return. So add new. So far 43 is there. I want to create, okay, region code is RT44. Description for return. For return. That's how usually, so suppose this has a parent code, then who will be the return code? So inside 42, it should come, only I want. So I want this should be added. Okay, prompt to add comments. Comment is required. Does this region code display customer message? No. Should region code is display in the access store? No. And then location. So it will be default bucket. It will be completely on hand only. So suppose save. So 43 it's telling you 44 is already available. So maybe that region code it's already so you can that's how usually we connect that one. That's how usually we connect that region code. So suppose it's the region code, right? So now in the same way, discount, if you want to create discount system, configure different type of discount that may be manual by doing the sale transaction. So you might be aware discount and deals in the access to discount is nothing manual. If you can apply the manual discount, that's the manual discount we are talking about here. So suppose this is the when we are discount system configuration is available means what are the system option available for configuring the discounts. So how it should work. All the sysconfig.xml file changes you will be able to apply here only. The system configuration also for the in the same way how your system should support for the customer part. So any configuration you want to do for this customer configuration, you will be able to all the sys configuration system you will be able to see inside the system configuration only. Any other thing that suppose any new code you want to generate here regarding anything, then you will be able to configure from here only. Receipt, how your receipt should look like. So suppose if I receive the transaction, how this receipt should be, everything you will be able to configure using the here only. So remember all the configuration setting should be available inside the configurator only. So tender, suppose any new tender you want to configure. So look, any system changes regarding the tender, then how the tender view and so suppose tender type is there. So what is the currency tender type currently we do have? So you can see this much currency we are available here. So I want to use this one. Suppose this UPI is there, right? So we want to the currency should be IND, right? INR. So look, so if we will see uh, denomination ID. So for the only I want to 101 denomination ID 100 denomination and then value should be the 100 then add and then you should be able to look only sell for the sale it should be available and I'm dealing and save. So you can see that's the how usually we do the configuration. Suppose currency you have done credit card I want the configuration new. So these are the credit cards currently we are using. That's how usually you do the configuration only. This is the functionality of the config manager. That's usually we do using the configurator. You have seen this one, configure and then deploy the changes. So this is the main screen. Usually you will be seeing that one. So deploy, suppose inside the deploy, what is the deploy? Schedule a planned deployment to roll out updates in the predefined way. So suppose you want, so it should deploy in the phase manner. Then you will be deploying using this deployment using the schedule planned deployment only. Single deployment. So one time just for the first time you have done the changes, you only one time it will be going. All the deployment history you will be see deploy version of solutions. So that's how where you want to see. So suppose configure, schedule a plan deployment, single deployment, deployment history. So any deployment version. So this is the profile manager, that's a region. That's how usually you see that one. That's it. This is the screen you are seeing over there. So now third one is the system. The next option is a system. What system? So where you have seen this one. So if you will go in the home directly, then you can see we are talking about this system now. So you can see the system management system is there. That's where we are talking about. So if you will see here, right? So again, I'm telling in the initial also we have discussed about okay system. This system is a nothing how you are going to manage this X Office application itself. So these settings will participate more configuring this X Office application itself. It's nothing related to the X Store application. So remember these things. So this system setting is for your X Office application only. It is used to manage the Xoffice application. It includes setting up the system configuration rules and parts. All the system configuration system part you will be setting using this system only. Setting up the available locale within Xoffice and version information. So what are the different languages should be available to the Xoffice application? We can do using this system settings only. Setting up the retail Xoffice users and user roles. So who can use this Xoffice application? What kind of role we can assign to them using this system setting only we will be able to do that one. So inside that one only another is a X admin setting to set up the configuration option that govern how Oracle Retail X Office work means what are the X admin settings, how the look and feel should be looking for this application. That's inside coming inside the X admin setting and X admin users used to define a store personality for an organization. So means who will be using this X Office application, X admin user using this X admin user only we will be able to see. Another third one is available locale. To add new locale, make changes to existing locale, delete a locale. So suppose if you want to see the system settings, so let me count. So look, we can see here, right? X admin settings, X admin user, and system settings. So X admin setting, let's do this first. So suppose for the general purpose, simplest things I want to check. So what is the file setting? So look, the file upload directory. So it's here, right? So if you want to just you put anything, whatever you like, and then you save this one. That's how you do the system setting, the default locale code, which is United States only. So how the post log data, where the post log file should be generated, all these things regarding purge. So how the access to purge, so look, enable data purge or not. So this data purge is available? No, currently. So I want to change, okay, this should be yes only. Okay, save. So look, it got save only. So number of days to keep flight info, number of the keep file up to 90 days by default. So you want to change, okay, it should be for the 60 only I want. Okay, no, I want 1 year only, 365. Okay, save. That's how usually you do the all the configuration for your Xoffice application, how this Xoffice application will work. That's the things we were taking using the X admin setting. So X admin user now. So suppose user roles. So suppose what are the rules? So you can see these are the roles they have created. If you want a new role, otherwise you can use any other role that also. So suppose I want to delete this one. I want to delete. So suppose so that's the thing. So suppose any new user I want to create, how the role you will be creating. So role ID. So I have given EG access is there. So EG I have electronic journal, all the user who can access the electronic journal functionality. Description EG access. So the rank I have given, it should be the 5. It should be the 5. It's a just label. So what I want, okay, I want, okay, this should be the, which option he should be able to see. I want only electronic general. So report part, I want only, we should be able to see this electronic journal only. So, so look, EG config, if you will see, so look, we have got EG access is there. So that's how usually you create the new role. So suppose now user and access. So suppose I have just created new user ID. I am giving test EG. Username is test1. Last is XYZ. The password I am giving to 12345. Confirm password 12345. So and then role EG access I have given this one, right? So I want to complete access. So now this we will be saving. What password I given? That's new at 123. At new at 123. And then I have saved this one. So you can see test user, test user ID, test EG is there. So suppose now I created this one. So I am changing the log. So now test EG and uh, password I've given X admin at 123. Suppose I am so it's the first password as a region is asking for me. Okay, current password X admin at 123. New password X admin admin. So I have given only one part, but I haven't given the dash part. That's the region it's asking. So you are not able to authorize the two. So now what I will do now, so I will go to the system option, user, user, and then I will make this test easy. So role is there, right? So role I will give this one, anything else. So suppose, so now save, and then now log out. So paste easy, and then again I want to three. So you can see. So now you will be able to see all these things. So here you can see this is the organization. The right stream corner you can see this is the organization ID where you are connected to. If there are more than one organization IDs at the time of login itself, it will be asking. Otherwise, by default, it will be only that organization ID. So here you can see who is logged in and about Xoffice. So which version Xoffice application is implemented. So that's the version you can see. This is a base version. This is a customer specific version. That's how usually we do in the system settings. So that's how mostly that part of the system setting only. The system manager you have seen, right? So how it, all these things it will be looking the system. So these three part was there. Available locally. So in the available locally, okay, the next one is a deployment manager. Okay, so another functionality from the Xoffice application is a deployment manager. So deployment manager, we have discussed all the deployment things, what we are using, that is for the deployment manager. Any new file upload, if you want to send to the access store system, then you will be using the deployment manager only. Other functionality of the deployment, so suppose you have done some data management changes, so internally it will be creating that file all, it will be sending to the store using a deployment manager only. In the configuration manager only, you have created few configuration, then house internal is creating few files and using deployment manager only, it's sending that files to the access to system. That's the where you will be seeing. So if you will can see, so deployment manager, if you will be seeing here only, right? Inside the deployment manager, this option is there, and then you will be able to see inside the deployment manager. So what are the deployment manager? Look, deployment manager used to upload files for deployment, create deployment plans for scheduling updates, track and status of configuration and file deployment. These are three major functionality that we will be using. So look, file upload if you will be seeing. So on the file upload, the very first functionality, again I am telling, so suppose deployment manager, usually we use the file upload functionality. So any, suppose new file I want. So this is there, and then I have created that one. So look, it's done. So now how you want to deploy that one? Plan deployment. So when you want to, so look, deployment plan, nothing is there. So, okay, targeted to the 27, it should go. Schedule before planning, so schedule a plan deployment. So file upload, we have done this one. Okay. So now deployment plan. So suppose there is a no. So I will add this one. Plant name is test description. Test how many store I want. Uh, now test, test. So we one only launch nothing automatic. It should go save wave. So now it has been so now save plot. So now we have added this one. So suppose deployment is there, right? So it's not there, right? Then we have created new deployments. All the deployments are there. Then we will be selecting the schedule a plan deployment. So deployment plan, we have created this one and targeting date, we are creating 7. So now you have to, as soon as you will deploy, it will be done here on. That's how usually we create this one inside apart from this, inside this one, there is nothing. You can see all the deployments so far, what's happened. So you can see the status also, you can see what are the name, what are the data you have sent. All these things we will be able to see inside the deployment plans only. Another is the support tools now. The support tools are there inside this support tools. So what are the different functionality is available? So if you will see the the support tools component allow you to view issue taking place at a store level and to set up email alert to be sent to the appropriate person when any issue occurs. So alert console, so log events for application error, connectivity errors, application errors, hardware errors, update errors, and version errors. Allow to change the alert severity threshold or value for the organization for various alert events. So anything, if you want to alert console, then it will be showing over there only. So just see, come to here, and then you can see the system alert console is there. Support tools, inside the support tools, alert console is there, and then see the console. So you can see the replication. Is there any issue for the replication has happened? Any database connection issue, any application failure is there, any hardware failure is there. So anything if you want, you will be able to see on this screen itself. So that's how usually we do that one in the alert console part. Deployed access store version. So suppose if you want to come and then you want to select deploy access store version only. So all the access store versions, currently there is a connection issue. That's the reason it's not showing. Otherwise, it might have shown you complete list of deploy access store version only. So replication status. So look, is there any replication? If you want to do the reprocess of that replication data, then you select that one. So suppose 101, I want what is the data, and then we refresh this data. Then you will be reprocessed. That also you will be able to see using this, that one only. Replication status, publish post log data, provide the ability to compile the post log data from within X Center. So all of the data that will be available in the Accenter database, using that one, if you want to publish the post log data, then you will be able to use this one, publish data, publish post log data. So from which you want to do, suppose store 101 data only I want to publish. What are the transaction data as of now? And then you can see the publish and publish all for complete set of data. That's how usually we use the maintenance as support tools of the system. Another is a Xoffice reports part. So Xoffice reports, as we discussed in the initial, Xoffice reports is nothing, all the reports that you can see in the centralized database, means Accenter database data. If you want to see the reports, then you will be able to see from where, how it will come. So if you will see the report pass is there only. The reports, inside the reports only, electronic journal, all the transaction data you can see. So suppose you can see for the particular store also, you will be able to see, and you can search that particular data in the electronic journal only. In the same way, suppose you all the report you want to see, then you will be able to see all the reports available here. So for suppose miscellaneous reports, what the current report, so look, item list are there. So suppose 101 item list, what is there, then you will be able to see all the reports. Currently, there is no data, I think. That's the reason it's showing nothing. That's how usually you, all the reports you will be able to see from this functionality only. So flash sales report, flash sales summary, flash sales by department, flash sales by hour, flash sales by employee, sales report, daily sales and cash report, sales by hour report, sales by hour analysis report, sales by department reports, and all the things you can see inside this one only. So different reports are available inside that one only. Electronic journal, you can see the complete electronic journal also. So provides ability to visible transaction for restaurants, extended the view transactional data from the Xoffice database in receipt format, also similar to the past. Provide ability to search and review transactional within your Explorer hierarchy. So completely you can see. That's how we have completed our Xoffice application. Thank you so much.